ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Making a video here while I am at work on my last break. I wanted to kind of take about 5-10 minutes and discuss something I've been messaged about literally throughout the entire afternoon. If I had heard about it, if I knew about it, which I had, and that is, and then I was actually asked by two different people if I just would come up and make a video regarding the death of Ozzy Osborne, one of the most legendary names in all of heavy metal / rock and roll, known as the Prince of Darkness, known as the Godfather of Heavy Metal. It is unfortunately that that Ozzy did in fact pass away. I initially thought it was was it 2-3 weeks ago? Ozzy did his final concert ever. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, when Black Sabbath performed for the final time, and the most vivid thing about that concert that I can remember was Ozzy. A lot of people, may or may not know, Ozzy for the last probably 5 or 6 years suffered from advanced Parkinson's disease, which made him very frail when it came to walking and balancing. And a lot of people may not know he was actually strapped to his throne during that concert, which you could see several times. He's wanting to get up and push himself up, but he was strapped to the chair, or to the throne rather, on account that they didn't want him to fall and get hurt, or with his age. I believe he was 76 when he passed away. He was surrounded by his family. Yo, Cindy, long time no see. And the reality is, yes, it's a very sad day. I've seen people on social media that didn't even know Ozzy Osbourne bawling, because this man passed away. And don't get me wrong. I mean, when Ozzy Osbourne first broke onto the scene back in 1970, when he formed the band Black Sabbath, that was well before my time. I wasn't born until 1982. I knew more about Ozzy Osbourne when he went solo, as opposed to when he was with Black Sabbath. Like the two big songs for me were Crazy Train and Mr. Crowley. Those are my two favorite Ozzy Osbourne songs. And he's got another one is Never Gonna Stop. I think that's the title of one. But like I said, I don't really have a whole lot of knowledge of Ozzy. Yo, Theory from Barbados. I am from the central U.S. But welcome aboard. But yeah, Ozzy transcended a genre by the music he made. Most notably, he bit the head off of a live bat on stage. That was freaking insane. Ozzy had a crazy side. He had a wild side, as most rock and rollers do. And I knew. I kind of touched on the concert he just did 3 weeks ago. The final time Black Sabbath was in concert. Talked about how he was strapped to the throne, and one thing that just thinking about it, it's almost like his goodbye to the world is when he sang "Mama, I'm Coming Home," which Ozzy's mom had passed on, and just the look on his face. He's sobbing as he's singing the song. There's an old saying. When you're to that point in your life, where you have a disease, or people know when they're gonna die. You of all people are gonna know before anybody else. And I think that's what that was. That's the biggest thing I remember from that concert. Ozzy was literally my first memory of music when I was little, thanks to my 3 older brothers. As sad as it is, I'm glad he's not in pain anymore. Yeah. And it was his goodbye to everybody. Again, just the way he was crying, and it wasn't just he was sniffling. I mean, you could see tears running down his face as he's singing "Mama, I'm Coming Home." My first thought is my mom is in heaven. My mom passed away a few years ago. That hit me like a freight train. No pun intended, because he has the song "Crazy Train." But it's sad. Like I said, I wish I had a lot more to say. Like I said, I grew up on Ozzy Osbourne as a solo artist, more than when he did his Black Sabbath stuff. I know, I think it was in 2002, maybe 2003. He was in a really, really bad ATV accident that damaged his spine, and things were really different for him. Remy Emmy, if I'm saying your name right, hello. If I'm butchering your name, I sincerely apologize. I'm horrible with names. Um, but yeah, Ozzy was known as the Prince of Darkness. Like I said, Jennifer, indeed, rest in peace, Ozzy the legend. And like I said, I wish there was more. I could sit. I mean, I could sit here for another 10, 15 minutes, just talking about the accolades he did. Zavu, I don't have Grinder, so I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Um, but yeah, Ozzy Osbourne will forever go down as one of the greatest musicians of our time or any other time. All right, well, Zavu, you can go bye bye. If I do have a moderator, please remove him. But yeah, like I said, Ozzy has done. I don't know if I have any moderators. Hold on. Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I deal with enough spam on a daily basis. But anyway, sorry about that, guys. It's the internet. You're gonna have that kind of thing. But but yeah, like I said, it's a very sad day for not only just rock and roll, heavy metal, but all of music. I know Ozzy Osbourne was also a member of the WWE Hall of Fame. I know Triple H sent out a really long tweet regarding Ozzy's death, and he's reunited with Lemmy Kilmister, um, which was lead singer of Motorhead. He passed away a few years ago as well. But like I said, it's a sad day for all of music, and like I said, I'll remember Ozzy very fondly. Like I said, even though I wasn't too privy on him, like I said, it's not that I wasn't a fan. I did listen to his music. I just wasn't as immersed in him as maybe somebody else. But like I said, wanted to make this video because, like I said, I had a couple of people ask me about if I would do something for it, and I'm like, I'll do a Kennel bit for it. Just because, like I said, the Kennel bits are usually designed just to be 5-10 minutes or whatever. Just discuss a current event that's going on, and I just felt that the death of Ozzy Osbourne definitely warranted something, at least for me to come up and just even just to say a few words. And like I said, it's a sad day for a lot of people and a lot of music lovers all the way around. Like I said, there will never ever ever be another Ozzy Osbourne. If you had a Mount Rushmore of music, Ozzy Osbourne, at least for mine, would be one of the first names on that list, just because of his tenure. As I said, he was with Black Sabbath for, I believe it was like in the early 70s, might have been like 70 or 71. He established Black Sabbath, and then of course he had a monstrous solo career. Like I said, it's the world is going to be a little bit darker, no pun intended, without Ozzy Osbourne. So to the Prince of Darkness, the Godfather of Heavy Metal, may he rest in peace and be remembered by fans all over the world as a legend, because that's exactly what he was. So like I said, I wish I had a little bit more to go on, but like I said, I had to at least come up, make a video. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to hit you guys with some more division breakdowns for the NFL season upcoming. I've got the rest of the AFC done. I'll get a couple videos of that out for you guys in the morning when I get up. My internet issues will be fixed on Thursday morning, so I'm hoping as early as Thursday afternoon I will have a lengthy live stream for you guys in that regard. So with that being said, if you're new to the channel, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. Yo, Savannah, hello, welcome in. But I'm going to get this thing wrapped up so I can get back to work, finish off the night. But like I said, rest in peace to one of the greatest of all times, the legendary, the icon, whatever you want to call him, the late, great Ozzy Osbourne. May he rest in peace. Love you all. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow morning with another video for you guys. So with that being said, take care, and we will catch you guys tomorrow morning.